And welcome back. Joining us live now is Congressman Tony Gonzales, whose district includes Uvalde. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. I know you want to talk about mental health resources, and we will get to that. That's important. But first, a lot of people are looking for change and solutions to curb gun violence. I want to ask you, do you believe guns and gun laws as they are right now contribute to these terrible tragedies, or do you refuse the notion that guns have anything to do with these mass shootings?
You know, I think everything should be on the table. And I think what you're going to see this week is going to be a very fiery debate in Washington and throughout the country, and rightfully so. You know, as a parent, you know, I want to make sure my children are safe. All of us should want to make sure our children is safe. You know, I want to start also with what's happening in Uvalde. And right now in Uvalde, we're burying our babies, and the community is very saddened. And we really want to heal, and we can't heal when there's all this outside intrusive kind of media and elsewhere, folks that aren't really from the community that are constantly at that. What I'll also say is, you know, I'm working with the superintendent and others. How do we get ready for school? I know school literally just kind of was released, but how do we get ready for school? How do we, one, tear down Robb Elementary and rebuild it with something else? I'm working with private and public partners to do that. But also, a lot of people don't realize there's 6 other elementary schools in Uvalde. How do you get families prepared for that? One of the things I did is I sent a letter to Department of Education as well as the Department of Justice asking for federal grants, emergency federal grants, to help us get ready for this upcoming school year.
Congressman, in the past you voted against 2 gun control measures, one of which included background checks. So do you support stronger background checks and or these red flag laws?
Yeah, I think everything's on the table. This is what you're going to see this week. This week in Washington, you're going to see the Democrats roll out 8 bills, and these bills largely have nothing to do with Uvalde. Look, H.R. 130, what it does is it federalizes how you store a firearm. Nothing to do with Uvalde. H.R. 748, that federalizes gun safety locks, has nothing to do with Uvalde. H.R. 2248 or 2280.
Sir, but are you
what I'm getting at is,
are you in favor of those? Are you in favor of any of those?
I'm not in favor of any of those because they don't help us solve the Uvalde crisis.
What gun legislation are you in favor of that would help solve the problem? I mean, the shooter waited until he was 18 to buy these 2 AR-15s. Would you be in favor of increasing the age to buy a rifle like an AR-15 to 21? Is that something you're open to?
You know what I would be in favor? I would love for us to talk about H.R. 2248. It's led by Ted Deutsch, a Democrat from Florida. What does this do? This empowers the Secret Service. So right now, the President of the United States gets deadly threats daily. And who takes care of him? The Secret Service. So why not have us empower the Secret Service to take care of our children? This is a bipartisan piece of legislation. That's something I would get behind. It's called the Eagles Act, right? Something else I would get behind would be the Alex and Luke Act. This is a piece of legislation that was basically created by a father of one of the victims of the Parkland shooting. And what does this do? It creates a federal clearinghouse. Once again, bipartisan piece of legislation. These aren't making the conversations up there because what if I told you, Phil, they didn't want to solve this? The politicians want us to fight one another and get nowhere. I
think people want answers, and they're trying to get answers, and so nobody's trying to divide, including the media. We just want to ask these questions. But Congressman, we are running out of time. We do appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this issue, and of course, our condolences remain with everybody in Uvalde. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, Phil. And I love to talk about mental health as well. I think it's an area that will bring people together.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.